Welcome to this explainer on Vipassanā meditation. Today we're taking Venerable Mahāsi Sayādaw's renowned induction talk and turning it into a hyper-practical, step-by-step guide. If you're completely new to meditation, or maybe you've tried it and just found yourself totally frustrated by vague instructions, you are in the exact right place. We're translating ancient wisdom into a direct, actionable roadmap. I am absolutely thrilled to walk you through this material. Our goal today is to completely demystify meditation. We're going to bring crystal clear structure to the instructions you need so you can get started right away. No confusing jargon, just the precise mechanics of exactly how to train your mind. Okay, let's take a quick look at our roadmap. Section 1, the basics of mental noting. Section 2, handling thoughts and distractions. Section 3, dealing with physical discomfort. Section 4, walking meditation techniques. Section 5, mindfulness in daily life. And finally, Section 6, the arising of insight. Let's conquer this step by step. Section 1, the basics of mental noting. We're starting right at the absolute foundation of the practice. We're stripping away all that complex theory to focus entirely on what you actually do the second you sit down on the cushion. The really crucial thing to grasp here is that Vipassana isn't about forcefully emptying your mind of all thoughts. Instead, it's about actively naming physical and mental acts exactly as they happen. You're basically becoming this ultimate objective observer, noting things like seeing, or hearing, or thinking. It is a continuous process of labeling your present reality. But where do you actually begin? Well, as a beginner, the text advises that you have to ground yourself in the most conspicuous, obvious movement available to you, which is your breath. Specifically, simply noting your abdomen rising as you breathe in and falling as you breathe out. And here is the golden rule. Do not alter your breath. Don't try to speed it up or slow it down to make it easier to note. Just breathe totally naturally and apply that mental label. This brilliantly illustrates the exact pacing you're aiming for. Your mental label of rising or falling literally has to land precisely on the physical action at the exact moment it occurs. It's not some lazy afterthought, it is a sharp, synchronized connection between your mind and your body, just like a stone hitting a target. Section 2, handling thoughts and distractions. Now, let's talk about what happens next, because I guarantee you, as a beginner, you're going to hit a roadblock almost immediately. It's the classic meditation question, right? What if your mind wanders elsewhere? What if you suddenly start thinking about what you're going to have for lunch, or stressing over an email you have to write? The vital takeaway here is to realize that this is not a failure. It is simply a brand new opportunity to apply your core technique. You handle these distractions by noting them directly. If your mind wanders, you just mentally note wandering. If you're planning your day out, note planning. By doing this, you actually start to realize it's not a persistent I or ego that's doing the thinking. It's just a fleeting act of consciousness. Once you note it, the thought usually disappears, and you patiently, gently return your focus right back to the rising and falling of your abdomen. Section 3, dealing with physical discomfort. Aside from a wandering mind, we have to address the next major hurdle you'll face as you sit for longer periods. You will inevitably experience pain, stiffness, or heat. And the text offers this really profound reminder. Patience leads to nibbana, which is the ultimate state of liberation and peace. So instead of immediately giving in to that knee-jerk desire to move or scratch an itch when you feel discomfort, you must patiently note the feeling itself. Label it stiff, or hot. This is exactly how you build deep, unbreakable concentration. Now, if you've noted the pain for a long time and you absolutely must change your posture, notice the stark difference required here. You have to totally abandon normal, abrupt movements. The text explicitly says to act like a feeble invalid. You move incredibly slowly, noting wanting to move, raising, moving, stretching. This slow motion ensures your mindfulness remains perfectly clear and uninterrupted. And this quote explains exactly why we move like that. The whole emphasis here is on absolute continuity. Just like rubbing two sticks together, any gap in your noting cools down your momentum. If you move abruptly, you lose the friction. That is why patience and those deliberate, super slow movements during transitions are absolutely critical to generating the heat of insight. Section 4, walking meditation techniques. Once you've got a firm handle on the seated practice, we can layer on some more complex scenarios and take the practice to your feet. Notice how this builds perfectly over time. You don't start with the most complex movements. Beginners walking fast simply note right step, left step. As you slow down, you divide the movement into two, raising, dropping. Eventually, you're breaking down a single step into 3 distinct, hyper-focused movements: raising, pushing forward, dropping. It's all about increasing the resolution of your awareness. But remember, posture doesn't limit your progress. It's profoundly encouraging to know that incredible insights don't just happen while sitting cross-legged or walking. The text highlights this amazing story of Venerable Ananda, who struggled all night long only to attain the ultimate goal of full enlightenment, arahatship, in the exact brief moment he was noting his body swaying to lie down. Insight can strike in any posture, as long as the noting is continuous. Section 5. Mindfulness in Daily Life. Let's broaden the scope now, because a serious meditator doesn't just stop practicing the second they leave the meditation hall. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, every mundane action requires your unbroken, deliberate noting. Washing your face, opening a door, eating a meal. When eating, you literally note looking, reaching, chewing, swallowing. It sounds rigorous, and honestly, it is, but this continuous application is what actually bridges the gap between a meditation session and a truly mindful life. And for those aiming for ultimate mastery, this dedication extends even to the end of your day. The source text advises that a serious, intensive meditator should ideally limit their sleep to 4 to 6 hours. You meditate, noting your abdomen until the exact moment drowsiness overtakes you and you fall asleep. Then, the very first thought you note upon waking is, awakening, awakening, and you immediately resume the practice. Section 6. The Arising of Insight. So we've covered the techniques, the posture, and the daily rigor. But where does this relentless, continuous, step-by-step noting actually lead us? Well, by constantly separating the physical object, like your rising abdomen, from the mental act of noting it, a profound shift happens. You will personally, directly witness that all phenomena arise and pass away instantly. This isn't book learning, it's entirely experiential. It leads to the ultimate understanding of anicca, which is impermanence, dukkha, the nature of suffering, and anatta, the realization that there is no solid, unchanging self. Which leaves us with this final thought. The source text promises that with unremitting effort, these exceptional insights don't have to take a whole lifetime. They can actually occur in just a few weeks or even days of dedicated practice. The roadmap is laid out clearly before you. So my question to you is, what is stopping you from sitting down today and simply noting your very next breath?